In the hushed stillness of an autumn night, a suburban household stirred with the rhythmic pulse of solitude. Within its walls, our young protagonist, cloaked in sorrow and desolation, wrestled with the echoes of a recent heartache. A symphony of life, once rich and harmonious, had been reduced to a melancholic monotone. The clinking of silverware against plate, the murmur of wind through cracked window panes, and the faint whisper of a radio playing softly in another room. The chill of October seemed to permeate not only the air but the very essence of the boy, his spirit mirroring the descending temperatures outside. As the hands of the clock crept towards midnight, an unexpected dissonance pierced the quietude. A sharp, metallic clang shattered the stillness, sending a jolt of fear and confusion coursing through the young man's veins. The source of the sound remained elusive, lurking in the shadows that danced upon the walls. With trembling hands, he fumbled for the switch on the lamp by his bedside, bathing the room in a dim, flickering glow. The room seemed to yawn back at him, the corners shrouded in mystery and unease. His eyes darted around, searching for some semblance of explanation, but finding none. The silence returned, heavy and oppressive, as if pressing down upon him like a weight. Yet, even amidst the fear, a flicker of determination ignited within our protagonist, a spark that would drive him to unravel the mystery that had invaded his sanctuary. Unbeknownst to him, this was merely the first crescendo in a symphony of secrets and suspense that would soon consume his life. In the inky darkness of the suburban night, the young man's instincts took over as a metallic clang echoed through his home. A shiver ran down his spine, a cold premonition chilling him to the core. He donned a woolen jacket and stepped out onto his porch, peering into the shadows that danced around his backyard. A child stood there, huddled beneath a parka, clinging tightly to a PVC pipe. The moon cast an eerie glow on the boy's face, his features hidden behind the hood of his coat. A sinister presence seemed to emanate from him, a palpable sense of unease prickling at the edges of the protagonist's consciousness. The young man felt a surge of fear, his heart hammering in his chest. Yet, there was something else lurking within him, an unquenchable curiosity, an insatiable need to know what lay behind that mysterious presence. He took a hesitant step forward, the gravel crunching beneath his feet as he approached the child. The boy's eyes never left the protagonist, a malevolent gleam flickering within their depths. A sense of dread crept into the air, thickening like fog around them. The young man paused, torn between fear and the desire for answers. He took another step forward, the tension building like a coiled spring ready to snap. And then, with a suddenness that stole his breath, the child darted away, disappearing into the night as silently as he had appeared. The young man stood frozen, his heart pounding in his chest as the chill of fear and anticipation washed over him. The source of the metallic clang remained a mystery, the child a sinister enigma that haunted the quiet suburban streets. As the moon dipped below the horizon, casting the world into shadow, the young man felt an icy grip tightening around his heart. He knew he would not rest until he unraveled the truth behind the anonymous child, a pursuit that would lead him down a path fraught with danger and deception, a journey into the very heart of darkness itself. As the cold wind howled through the narrow cracks of his home, the young man's breath fogged in the air like wisps of fear. His heart hammered against his ribcage as he stared into the darkened abyss beyond the frost-rimed window pane, his mind racing with thoughts of the intruder lurking outside. In a frenzied panic, he fumbled for the phone on his nightstand, eyes darting towards every creak and groan emanating from the shadows. The line connected, and with trembling hands, he uttered a plea for help, his voice cracking like the ice underfoot. The words of the operator resonated through the receiver, a beacon of hope amidst the growing darkness. "We have officers on their way," she assured him, her tone measured and steady in contrast to the chaos engulfing his world. However, time seemed to slow to a crawl as the minutes stretched into an eternity. The house groaned with each breath he took, its ancient timbers creaking like a vessel lost at sea. His eyes darted towards every corner of the room, seeking solace in the familiarity that had turned treacherous. With a primal roar, the door to his sanctuary splintered apart, shattering the fragile illusion of safety. The intruders stormed into the room, their figures cloaked in darkness, their movements sinister and deliberate. Fueled by terror, the young man lunged for the bathroom, slamming the door shut behind him. With a sickening crash, the door gave way under the relentless force, shattering the last vestige of his sanctuary. Desperation clawed at his heart as he pressed himself against the cold porcelain, the only barrier between him and the darkness closing in around him. The sound of sirens wailed through the night, a mournful dirge that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality. The young man could feel time slipping away, every second carrying the weight of an eternity as he cowered in the bath, awaiting his fate. And so, the scene was set for a battle of wills, a dance between life and death that would forever etch its mark upon the soul of the quiet suburb. The lines between good and evil blurred like the frost on the window pane, leaving only one question hanging heavy in the air: who among them would be the last to draw breath? In the hushed realm of a dimly lit interrogation room, our detective's eyes bore into the shadows, their intensity mirroring the weight of his quest for justice. The air was thick with anticipation, the silence pierced only by the ticking of a clock that seemed to echo the relentless march of time. The walls closed in around him, the sterile white surface bearing witness to countless tales of despair and deceit. The detective's mind raced, assembling fragments of evidence like pieces of a puzzle whose solution eluded him. His fingers tapped rhythmically against the worn tabletop, each tap a testament to his mounting frustration. Outside, the suburban night cloaked the streets in an eerie embrace, its darkness a veil for secrets untold. As the detective delved deeper into the case, he uncovered tenuous links between the suspects and the town's leaders, men who ruled with iron fists, their faces hidden behind masks of respectability. The revelation sent shockwaves through the detective, shaking the foundations of his faith in the very authorities he had sworn to serve. Yet, he pressed on, propelled by an unyielding resolve and a haunting image, that of the anonymous young man who had fallen victim to their machinations. The detective's journey was not one of easy answers or swift resolutions. Instead, it was a labyrinthine path where each step led only to more questions and deeper mysteries. The lines between good and evil blurred, leaving him to navigate the treacherous waters of deception and betrayal. As he peeled back layers of the town's facade, the detective uncovered a conspiracy that ran deep, its tendrils weaving their way through the very heart of the community. The truth, he realized, was as elusive as it was terrifying, a chilling reminder of the darkness lurking just beneath the surface of an idyllic suburban existence. In this battle for justice, our detective stood alone, his resolve unyielding despite the crushing weight of doubt and despair. The path before him was fraught with danger, but he pressed onward, driven by a single, resolute thought: that no matter the cost, he would see the truth revealed and bring to light the silent terror that had cast its shadow over an unsuspecting community. In the heart of the tranquil suburbia, where the rhythm of daily life had once pulsed in harmony, an unsettling cacophony of whispers now reverberated. Shadows danced ominously upon the cobblestone streets, as though casting a pall over the once pristine idyll. The sun's golden rays, that had once bathed the town in warmth and light, seemed to shrink in the face of mounting dread. As the investigation into the anonymous young man's murder progressed, fragments of truth began to surface from the depths, like broken shards of a mirrored reflection. The once solid facade of the town's leaders was now a crumbling edifice, as their secrets were laid bare for all to see. A local business magnate, revered by many as a pillar of the community, was found to have ties with a notorious criminal organization, a connection that had been carefully hidden behind a veil of wealth and respectability. The mayor, once a symbol of integrity and honor, was implicated in the cover-up of the young man's murder, his once unwavering gaze now clouded by deceit. In the shadows of these revelations, the enigmatic trio emerged from the woodwork. Clad in suits tailored to perfection, their icy gazes held a cold, calculating precision that could only belong to those who had tasted power. Their actions were no longer mere suggestions, but rather commands that resounded through the town like thunderclaps. The once peaceful suburbia was now a battlefield where fear and uncertainty clashed with the unyielding resolve of the detective. With each revelation, the stakes grew higher, the tension thicker, as the community grappled with its newfound knowledge. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the desolate streets, it seemed to symbolize not just the end of a day, but the twilight of an idyllic era. The once trusted pillars of society now stood accused, their transgressions laid bare for all to see. In the quiet stillness that followed, one could almost hear the whispers of the anonymous young man, echoing through the empty streets like a ghostly refrain. His memory lived on, not just as a symbol of fear and injustice, but also as a beacon of hope for those who dared to seek the truth. And so, the investigation continued, its tentacles reaching ever deeper into the heart of the suburbia. The once tranquil community was now a battlefield, where the search for justice clashed with the forces that sought to keep their secrets buried. As the darkness deepened, one could only wonder what other shattered idols lay hidden beneath the surface. In the somber hues of a late autumn day, the courtroom stands as a testament to justice, its marble walls bearing silent witness to the events unfolding within. The air is heavy with anticipation, the tension palpable, as the trial for the anonymous young man's murder reaches its climax. The defendant, draped in a cloak of guilt, faces an unrelenting gaze from the jury and the assembled community. His accomplices, their eyes downcast, await their fate with bated breath. The once tranquil suburbia now trembles on the precipice of revelation, the silent terror finally ready to be exposed. The judge, a stern figure clad in black robes, presides over the proceedings with a sense of solemn gravity. His gavel strikes with finality, heralding the beginning of the closing arguments. The detective, a relentless force driven by a personal vendetta, rises to deliver his damning indictment. Each word resonates through the hushed courtroom like a thunderclap, the evidence he presents as incontrovertible as the guilt etched upon the defendants' faces. The community, whose faith in their leaders had been shattered, listens raptly, their hearts heavy with hope for resolution. As the judge delivers his verdict, a collective sigh echoes through the courtroom, tinged with relief and a sense of closure long overdue. Guilty, guilty, guilty. The verdict rings out like a death knell, signaling the end of a dark chapter in the once idyllic suburbia. The defendants are led away, their fates sealed by the unerring hand of justice. The community breathes a collective sigh of relief, their faith restored and hope rekindled. The anonymous young man's death serves as a catalyst for change, forcing the town's leaders to confront their past mistakes and vow to work towards a brighter future. In the quiet stillness, the protagonist finds solace in a new love, his heart healing gradually beneath the tender touch of compassionate hands. He looks out upon the now mended suburbia, a sense of peace settling over him as he contemplates the knowledge that justice has been served. The silent terror, once a chilling presence casting a shadow over their lives, is finally laid to rest. The camera pans slowly across the now peaceful streets, capturing the resilience and strength of the community as they move forward together. The sun sets, casting long shadows that dance upon the pristine lawns and picket fences as the once anonymous young man's legacy lives on in the hearts of those who loved him. In this tale of tragedy and triumph, of darkness and light, the anonymous young man serves as a beacon, his death a stark reminder that even in the face of unspeakable horror, there is always hope for justice, healing, and redemption. The once silent terror has been vanquished, replaced by the promise of a brighter tomorrow.